Afternoon all, this is Tim with a further film on the turret builds. Lots of parts, had a huge delivery yesterday of around about 600 parts. A lot of those were duplicates, so for some reason they send me multiples of what I ordered sometimes, but be quite handy to have a few spare brackets. So lots and lots of tapping and dyeing and a great deal of drilling to prepare all these parts. I purposely, when parts are printed, print them with undersized holes and then drill them out to the correct size before tapping if required. I find that gives the dimensional accuracy that's needed with a project like this. Yeah, there are a few interesting parts along the way. This is the redesigned seat, which is correct. I'll just move that out of the way. So it's got the lugs for the gunner's lap strap, and the whole design of this is now correct. I found a good photograph of one, so I was able to copy it. This is the seat for the gunner. When the model is being displayed as a model, it'll have that on, just blue tacked on. When the aircraft's eventually in flight, this flat surface will be the one to which the FPV camera is mounted. This is the rear of the front cupola. As you may remember, I binned the entirety of the front turret design for various reasons. So now both turrets are made using exactly the same parts, with the exception of this twisted and curved piece here, and that's because the canopy on the front was slightly peculiar, frankly. I don't know why they built it like that. But yeah, so that's done. Bit of a swine to draw, but now printed, and it's always lovely to see a part that you've sweated buckets over trying to draw become a reality. And then you've got some parts of the rear turret cupola there. As you can see, these are deformed, so they need reprinting. What I should have done was to put spacing bars between them to cut away after it was printed, which would have given me the dimensional accuracy that I need, because those are hopeless at the moment. As the guns elevate and depress, they'll just grunge along the sides, so they need redoing. Other things here, this is the I'll just put this camera down. This is the new gubbins for the latch mechanism for the rear turret. If you remember, I built one last week and this went wrong for various reasons. The end of my finger, you can see a little spring that came out of a floppy A drive, and the function of that spring is to spring load the door shut. And you can see the little latch mechanism here travels in a slot when that's propelled shut. The front turret doesn't have one of those, so it'll just be a blanking plate on it, but otherwise it'll be exactly the same structure. You can see that I butchered this trying to find out why it was that it was jamming, because it only goes halfway down and then stops, and the reason for that was this hole that takes this copper tube. The hole for the copper tube was the wrong shape and far too small. So that's now been corrected on this one with a revised design for the shroud which covers that tube. So much for that. This I was very pleased with. This is the quarter shell for the starboard side of the front turret. So you've got the right hand door where my hand is, and then the left hand door, and then a further quarter shell. This was glazed, so I'll glaze that with a bit of clear plastic, and then it can be opened by pushing it forwards, probably to tap the gunner on the shoulder and say, well, we think your intercom's buggered. And then it's got a couple of detente positions here to keep it shut, and two of those little springs out of the floppies will be used top and bottom to keep the door spring loaded shut. So I'm very pleased with the way that's worked out, because with you can see there's about a millimetre of difference between the frame and the outside of the quarter shell, so when that's glazed it should all sit perfectly flush, which will be quite pleasing. But here's the thing, just for giggles really. I put the front half of one of these cupolas onto the turret, so you can see how the whole thing fits together. So you can see the slots through which the guns elevate and depress, and then if I move this up, above those are two thin panels. They're glazed, and then there's obviously glazing all around the rest of the cupola, so the gun is completely encapsulated in perspex and quite a lot of ironmongery. This is the armoured plate in front of the gunner, and then there'll be another one on the rear turret. Well, I think that's about it for now. As always, very happy to answer questions if you want to know how anything was done, or the tolerances one needs to work to, or what you can get away with, which I've learned through painful trial and error. If you're embarking on a project like this, do get in touch, because a little bit of advice early on can save you a great deal of grief when it comes to putting things together. That's it. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, give me a like if you're enjoying what you're seeing. If not, let me know. Cheerio for now.